Good evening, happy campers. It's the 22nd of July. Back out camping again. One minor apology. Last camp. I'm still editing it. I've just been a bit kind of like tied up over the last month. So I did the 3 packs video. I haven't touched the pitching video for the Hillyberg yet, but I will do it. It's on the computer. And so I have started editing the video for the camp last time. I think it's potentially going to be quite long. I'm talking about the video. So it's not that it really takes very long to do. So it's really just sort of watching it through, editing bits out, and then just watching it through a second time, and really that's about it. My videos are very simple and basic to edit. It's just finding a few minutes sometimes of an evening to try and get it done. So I will get those videos up, and I hope this video I get up before Christmas. Otherwise you'll be watching a summer tap at Christmas time or something ridiculous. Anyway, it's 25 to 7 here. I'm back in the usual place. I didn't get here until about 5:30. So I was thinking of going somewhere else, but it was by the time I got down to Dartmoor it was late evening, and I just wanted a short walk into camp just for convenience and ease and everything else. So I'll try and remember tomorrow to show you the quilt arrangement that I have in there, because I kind of sort of put it all in there and then forgot about the video. So I've got everything pretty much set up. I just haven't, sort of jiggled things properly. Talking about jiggling the equipment. I mean, I don't mean that equipment. I mean this equipment here. So my plan again is hopefully 2 nights. Quite like this 2-night thing. Again, whether I do this 2-night thing in the winter, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It also depends on, again, time and how things are at home. And just recently, as in sometime within the last month, anyway, certainly since last camp, so in the last 2 or 3 weeks, sadly found out that my mum's got dementia and Alzheimer's. So that's probably going to take up a bit of time. So I'm feeling a bit sad as well at the moment, but I'll try and keep the humour up. That's what this camera's all for, really. So I'll keep the humour up. I'll get a film going, something to eat in a minute, well, a tea anyway. I stopped at Taunton Services on the way here, and I was going to get a McDonald's because I quite like sort of, when I'm coming here, just something cheap and cheerful on the way. But they had a Cornish pasty van, so I hadn't had a pasty for ages, so I had a pasty, and I must admit that was very nice. Very briefly, here is my ever faithful mat, my cooking system, pot, tea, electrical things, 2 bags of food for 2 nights, tablet, cheese and some chocolatey snacky things, water over there. Lass's pack there, I need to sort her pack out soon. Wind shirt and waterproof kilt. Someone did ask about wearing a kilt as rainwear. Is it really worth it? And I think it is. Like I said in the video before, you may look a little bit of a Charlie, but you're kind of out here in the middle of nowhere, so nobody's really going to see you, and you're not going to get, I guess maybe if you're in the Scottish Highlands and you might potentially get colder up there, but it's not cold this time of year, so even if it rained, I really don't think you're going to get that cold. If the bottom of your legs get wet, chances are you're probably like me wearing shorts. I've even brought the sandals this time. So, you know, I really don't think you're going to get cold, and if you put your kilt around your shorts, then that will keep your shorts dry, and then it's just your legs that are getting wet, and well, our skin is kind of like waterproof anyway. So I really don't see it as a problem. First aid kit here. Actually, that'll be an interesting video, to do a video on first aid kit one day. Repair kit there. Rubbish bag there. Torch. I brought a spare, like, emergency torch. There's really no point in bringing that this time of year. Tilly hat. That's my warm jacket. That's the kilt. Spread for tomorrow if I go for a little walk. This time I remembered the mosquito coils if needed. Extra cord if needed. Fuel, which I will need. Toilet paper. A couple of other bits there, and then that's it. Nothing, just have some food there, and I brought the tripod again just in case I use it for a video or something. This is the MLD Grace Duo. I pitched it this piece down close to the ground, not because the wind's going in that direction. It's not, the wind's actually coming in this direction. I'm thumbing a lift. It's just I'm sitting over here and I don't want to be tripping over it with my feet. I've pitched the tarp really quite high this time. There's very, very little wind at the moment. There is some wind forecast, but hopefully, you know, hopefully it won't be too much of a problem and I can drop the shelter down if necessary. And it's one advantage of the Duo. I can still keep it quite high but pitch the sides quite low. Is hiding down there. Well, not exactly hiding, but one thing that the video does on this, I noticed last time I must be pressing something because it comes up focus cancel or cancel focus or something like that on the screen, and it doesn't change focus. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. Well, someone once did ask which microphone I use. I don't think I answered that question. So that's the microphone there. XCM XYST1M. Okay, well the time is 5 to 8. Probably another half hour, hour maximum, and I'll be clambering inside the shelter. It's just cooling off a bit now. It's not cold, but definitely cooler now. I did bring my shorts, and only shorts. So I didn't bring any trousers at all. I've got the leggings to wear when I'm sleeping, but it's so warm. I really don't think I need trousers at this time of the year down here. But it was just cooling off a bit, so I had my shirt. I always bring a long sleeve shirt camping. My legs I can kind of sort of cover up if necessary. If there's sun around, or I'll put some sun cream on. But arms, I like a long sleeve shirt when I'm camping, then I can just protect my arms. So I rolled the sleeves of my arm down. I brought a fleece. Again, I probably didn't need the fleece. I could probably have put the wind shirt on and my down jacket, but I brought the fleece, so I've put the fleece on and the wind shirt over the top. And whilst I was barefoot walking into camp, I did put in waterproof sealskin socks. and I don't need waterproof sealskin socks, but they're really just something that I can just whip on if my shoes were damp, if I'd have brought shoes, which I haven't, just my sandals. But if anything's damp, I can just whip them on quickly. If it's a bit cold, I can whip them on. So it's just something to put on at night, you know, if I need to. And I guess if I thought I needed socks for walking in my sandals, in a pinch I could wear the sealskins tomorrow, but I really don't think they'll be needed. I certainly didn't bring them for walking. I brought them for just general camp wear of the evening or morning, as and when and if needed. So I've had a tea, leg. So I've had a tea, or having a tea. I've had some crackers and some cheese. Once I've had the tea, I'll then do a cup of soup, and I'll basically see how hungry I feel after that. Because I ate on the way driving here, I am not so hungry at the moment, but I should think by the time it's 10 o'clock and I'm settled inside the shelter, I might start to get hungry. So almost certainly do the mug shots tonight, because they're a little bit lighter than the pasta and sauce. So I'll save that for tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to carry on enjoying my cup of tea. Lassie spent nearly the whole evening down in the water down there. I did check the forecast, and the forecast was correct. Mist up in the hills, but down in the valley it's okay. There's a few bugs. You notice again it's not focusing. And then I press a button on the back and it focuses. And I don't know why that is, to be honest. That's Lassie banging against the shelter. I was chatting with a friend on Facebook. The wind is blowing. That's a lot. I was chatting with a friend on Facebook. Maybe I need my hat as well. I hate. What the hell happened to my hat? I must have got. I think that's being attacked by a tea bag or something. The joys of camping. Oh, I'll have to chuck it in the water. I only washed it the other day too. Hope that stain comes out. Anyway, and it is a brown tea stain. It's nothing else. It's just tea. Right, now where was I? Yes, I was chatting with a friend on Facebook, and he Mark, and he God, the brain's gone. And he'd been watching the channel, about 5 odd years. So he remembered, Bess and Gizzy. Gizzy is still around, and he sort of said, "Oh, of course, Lassie digs down to Australia and everything." And I don't know why I hadn't thought of this before, to be honest. But I don't know whether anybody else watches or saw the last Godzilla King of the Monsters. Well, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it, because it did well enough in the box office, but I think it could do with a few more watchers. If the DVD comes out, buy the DVD, because I just love those films. And if it doesn't do it a bit better, and there's Godzilla against King Kong next year, and if it doesn't do brilliantly, they won't make any more, because Toho hold the rights in Japan and won't sell the rights to Legendary. Or Legendary won't buy the rights if they can't make enough money out of it. I just love those films. I just think they're brilliant, and I really enjoyed the really old ones with the man in the suit. Anyway, I was chatting with Mark, and he was asking about Lassie, and she said, does she still dig to Australia? And I said, yeah, of course she's still digging to Australia. And that just made me remember this Godzilla film and the hollow earth theory of where does Godzilla go when he's not on television. Where does Godzilla go? And of course in the last Godzilla, spoiler alert, he's got a lot of sort of underground interconnecting, you know, hollow earth things. That's what Lassie has been doing. So when Lassie is digging to Australia, she's actually helping Godzilla. So probably Lassie's ancestors in years gone by has probably been busy digging holes in the earth, so that Godzilla's got somewhere to hide out. Anyway, that's a pretty preposterous thought process that came to my mind. So thanks to Mark for, you know, talking about Lassie. That brought that daft idea into my head. Lassie is a saviour of the earth by helping Godzilla. Okay, I'm going to carry on, make a cup of tea, and then I might go for a little walk in a minute. Okay, well we're on the top of a hill. I can't quite remember the name of the hill anyway. It's one that's very close to camp. So we're on top of a hill, and I've just and it literally was like a 15-minute, 20-minute walk here, if that. Anyway, I've got my bread, so I'm going to have a piece of bread and water. Thank you, Lord, for bread and water. So, I hope there's nobody too religious out there. Anyway, so I'm going to have my bread and water now, and I think Les is looking to dig another hole for Godzilla. He started something there now, and then we'll see what we do from there. Okay, well it's about 9:20. The sun has pretty much disappeared over there, and I'm going to have something to eat and drink. Now I've had a couple of cups of tea, so it's just cooling off a bit as well. It's not as cold as it was yesterday, bizarrely, but anyway, I'm going to duck inside and watch a video. It looks such a mess today, but again, I think it looks a lot worse than it really actually is. So I had a ton of flying insects on here. Doesn't quite want to focus on that insect. Oh, that's it. Let's focus now. So lots of flying insect things on here. So I'm going to wish you all good night, and I will see you in the morning, baggy-eyed probably. Okay, well, there's a little bit of thunder around, well, a little of lightning around, so to be on the safe side, luckily it's not raining, so to be on the safe side I've dropped front and back poles. I'm kind of like thinking in the middle of a thunderstorm, lightning around, having two lightning conductors at each end of my shelter is probably not the wisest thing. So I don't know what other people have done when they've been out, you know, when lightning's been around. But I kind of thought that it would be a good idea to drop these down until the lightning passes. I think it's only going to be around for an hour or something like that. So, and it's been around for an hour or so before, but it's been in the different valleys and hills. It's just the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes it's got a little bit too close for comfort, so I thought just to be on the safe side I'll just drop these poles down. So I've basically got the shelter right on top of me. Once the lightning passes, then I'll whip them back up again. Okay, these guys have just popped down. That's my water down there, you know. And I thought Lassie splashed around in the water. At least they're all going up there anyway. I wonder if that's the same one who was looking at me last time. There's a funny little one just over here. Mainly just keeping an eye on Lassie, that she doesn't chase after any of them or bark or anything. I didn't eat all my cheese, and yet there's no cheese. It's a good job that I don't need more cheese. I wonder what happened to the cheese. Any connection between one dog and one empty packet of cheese? I think they're talking to each other in moo language at the moment. They finally left the water, although in all honesty, actually not that many of them went in the water. Oh, one of them's doing a poop over there. Good, do it there, not in the water, thank you. Good toilet behaviour. They just used this little bit of water just down here. Only about 3 or 4 of them went in. The rest didn't even go in. It's actually quite interesting watching animals and water. I've certainly noticed that they don't all go in. Just a few went in. And they didn't go in the river all the way up there. They might go and have a drink way up there. Although I may have disturbed them a bit, but I reckon give that water half an hour, maybe an hour to clear, and it'll be fine. Because they were only in this bit of water down here, so it just takes the water up there to come down here, rinse that bit away down, and you got fresh, clean water again. Guys, I still haven't, girls, whatever, in between, I still haven't seen anything that puts me off drinking this water, I have to say. Okay, well it's, oh hang on a minute, let me go and get some water before those two. Lassie, come back here. I think I can officially speak cow, because these two cows here, I'm guessing mother and youngster, were starting to come around this way, and I got my water. So I said to the cow, you can go that way now, and the cow was pointing that way, and I said you can go that way, pointing in that direction. And the cow went exactly, mind you the baby's not so sure, but the cow went exactly where I pointed. Quite bizarre. 12:20, I had my breakfast. I put most of everything away. On one of my videos, it might even have been this one, or one of the videos where I did the packs, I mentioned about the top of the pack being useful, and on this occasion I didn't bring the top, I took it off. But now I remember why it is useful. It's useful for all those little nicky-nacky tiny little bits that don't really have a place to go, like torch and spare torch and glasses and spare pegs and just sort of those little extra draw, cord, and so all those little bits are now loose in my pack. So those are the bits that I have to say were useful for putting into that top pocket. Maybe I need another stuff sack if I'm not using that, just to put those bits in. I've got plenty of stuff sacks, but That's just something that crossed my mind. Bessie! God. Just trying to dig another hole here for Godzilla. Kicking right over onto my bag there. She doesn't care where she digs, does she? Actually, everywhere where I look around this area where I've been, you can find lassie holes everywhere. There'll be so many lassie holes in one place. Ordnance Survey and Harvey Maps would be having to highlight them on their maps at some point. Okay, well, it's 2 o'clock. So it's 2 o'clock. I'm nearly back at the car. So that was a very, very enjoyable and relaxing couple of nights out. So I will catch you all again in August. Hopefully should be able to get out sometime in August. Still keeping up with my once a month thing. This tone is period. Once a month. Anyway, enough of my filthy mind. Not far to the car now, so thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, etc, etc. Whack that notification button. I've got a few videos out of this. Hopefully maybe the actual camping video will be a bit shorter on this one, because I suspect last month's camping video would be very long, but I've done several videos within this trip which I will edit and upload separately. So hopefully you will, enjoy those as a little aside. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. Catch you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. I wore my sandals again today. Really, so I wore my sandals for the last 3 days. I didn't wear any socks or shoes, just sandals. And that worked perfectly well. Just one thing. The left foot was fine, no problems. The right foot, when I was walking into camp on Monday, it was very, very wet. And I think one piece of grass seed, very annoyingly, must have stuck to the back of the sandal and rubbed the back of my foot. So when I got into camp, I put this, when in fact it wasn't this plaster, it was another plaster. I had to put a plaster on my foot with some iodine, just a drop of iodine on the plaster, stuck that to the foot, went ah for a second, and then that was fine. And that plaster stayed on the rest of Monday night, all day yesterday, and that included a short walk yesterday, no problems. Coming back to the car today, it started to peel off, so I just put a fresh plaster on, and it's stayed on and it's been fine. So that's just something to be slightly aware of if you're wearing stupid enough to wear sandals. Just make sure a bit of grass doesn't stick to your foot. Luckily I had some plasters. Put a plaster on it. Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your uncle. Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your auntie. And everything's fine to carry on. So no problems. Just a little lesson learned. If it's wet, watch out for bits of grass seeds sticking to your foot. But I'm still very happy that I wore sandals. It does make a nice change from shoes all the time. Okay, that's me, over and out.